Hello, my beautiful besties. It's your girl Nelly. If you're part of my nail crew, welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now and become part of my amazing nail crew. So here I had already applied my PLF method, my tips, and a thin layer of clear acrylic to secure my tips. And today I'll be using my 3XL coffin nail tips. Of course, you can buy those off of Amazon. If you need the link, let me know in the comments. For my cover color, I'm going to use Mystic Acrylics cover color, which is very beautiful. And of course, once again, I'm going to use all the colors that I made because I made them for a reason. So I'm going to use them. So this set was inspired by my wonderful, amazing bestie, Miss Sugar Eclipse, here on YouTube. Her link, by the way, is in the description. It's always there for you guys to check out. She is absolutely amazing. I love the way her brain works. Sometimes we're talking about designs and sets, and she's explaining to me how she's going to do certain sets because we like to talk about that, and when she's talking to me about the sets or whatever design she wants to do, I'd be like, oh, that sounds so beautiful. But in my head, I'm like, I never would have thought of that. How the hell am I going to make that happen if I was to think about that? Anyways, this set is inspired by her. It's actually a recreation set. She was live and she went live one night. This happened like about a week ago, I think, at this point of me doing this voiceover. And she went live one night, and of course I was sleeping because I go to sleep super early. She had an amazing time, of course. And that set is gorgeous. Okay? Gorgeous. I'm going to insert a picture here so that you can see what the set looks like. The girl, she's absolutely amazing. So, I know a lot of people that follow me, follow her, but if you're new to my channel, I definitely recommend you watching her lives. She live streams a lot, and she often lately has been doing it like late at night because that's the time she has available to do it. Girls got to do what a girl's got to do. So I ended up watching the live the next day when I woke up because she goes to bed late and I'm the opposite. I go to bed early, but then I wake up super early. So I was watching her live and I was like, oh my God, this set is so freaking gorgeous. Let me try to recreate it. So this is my attempt. I don't know, you guys let me know how I did. I gotta say, there was one particular nail that while I was doing it, you want to hear my thoughts? Okay. My thought was, how the hell did she accomplish this design on this nail? Because it was the most challenging nail. So of course I did it in a different order, and I added some details of my own because I usually do that with every set that I recreate. I take some of the ideas of the sets and I switch it up a little bit, and then I add some of my own. So that's how this set came to be. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like it. I had an amazing time, although it was pretty challenging. And this is the nail that I'm talking about. Like, this was the most challenging nail. The entire time I was questioning, and I was like, how the hell am I going to pull this off? And while I was applying the acrylic, I was like, I don't know how she did this. She's so freaking amazing. There's certain times where you're like, oh my God, like, I've been in your shoes, bestie. Sometimes you can see one of my sets and you're probably thinking the same thing. Like, how the hell did this girl pull this off? And, it happens the same thing to me. Like, how? Like, there's like, yeah, I mean, I attempted something like this years ago. But when it's time to practice it, it's a little bit challenging, and it's a little bit, like, what am I doing? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? But you you get the point. That's just the gist of it. Let me start by giving my shout outs. So, shout out to everyone who takes the time to watch my videos. Shout out to everyone who likes, comments, and share my videos. It helps me out a lot here on YouTube. Shout out to everyone who's new to my channel. Welcome to my Nagelly Bestie. Thank you so much for joining the crew. Shout out to my moderators and shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your love and support, and thank you so much for your donation to my channel. So, I already scheduled my 3D flower class. So, I cannot remember at this point if it's going to be before or after this video. Hopefully it's after this video. I think it will be after. I am super busy at the moment. I have a little bit of a story, but it's going to come on later on. I want to talk about this set a little bit further. Yeah. So, like I said, I did this set. I think it was the day after she did her live or 2 days after. I can't remember. And I was like so amazed with how gorgeous her set looked. And I was like, I want to do something like that. You know, um, if you're new to my channel, I like to talk about real things. I like to talk about mental health. I like to talk about physical health. Not necessarily fitness, but like normal, more normal things that happen to like you and me, like pain wise and all of that. I talk about real life experiences, some things that have happened to me, or stuff like that. But I also want to say and mention that this month, the month of June, is we celebrate a lot of things this month, and one of the things that is not talked about enough, it's men's mental health. I see a lot of people being very judgmental and being very aggressive, and it kind towards men, and some of them have their reasons, of course, probably traumas and all of that, or bad experiences themselves. But it is important to think that men suffer from mental health, and it is important to talk about those things as well. And I will talk probably in a different video about that, because I think it's important, because everyone's mental health matters. Everyone matters. It doesn't matter their background. It doesn't matter what they did or what they didn't do. But I think it's important that we talk about those things. So I've taken it upon myself to not only do nails on my channel, but also talk about real life things. And I hope you enjoy that. I talk through my entire videos. I do not add music for copywriting reasons. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, because you will be, most likely in a future video, listen to me talk about those things. So yeah, I let's go just jump from that topic onto my little story. My baby had her dance night. My little girl, who's not so little anymore, had her dance night. She's graduating, as some of you know, who follow me on Facebook, or I can't remember if I made a post on Instagram. I don't like to really post my kids out there, but I have two daughters, and this year, one is graduating from high school, and then the other one is graduating from middle school. So yay, yeah, that's why I'm so forgetful and I'm going crazy, running around. The experience has been amazing. It has been exhausting, but so wonderful and fulfilling at the same time. So I spoke in a different video about my oldest daughter's prom and everything that went in it. So now I'm going to talk about the little one. Both of them are my babies, by the way. They will forever be my babies. I don't care how old they are and how tall they are, because they're taller than me at this point. But they will forever be my babies. So she, for days, like every day that came closer to her dance night, she will talk about it more and more and more. And I understand that because I remember what it was like to be her age. And I remember what it was like to feel the excitement of, oh my God, I'm graduating. I'm going to go to high school. I want to look pretty. I want to wear this. I want to use that. Okay, first of all, going to the mall with these two girls was a freaking nightmare. This is why I keep telling you guys I talk about real things. My girls are the complete opposite. Like, you know, and it was kind of hard, but I made it through. I pushed through it and I made it. Oh my God. So where do I begin? So anyway, she kept talking about it for days. And then the day before, it was the day before her dance, and she kept talking. She was talking about her nails for weeks. And I kept thinking, like, I'm trying to get through with this prom, and then we'll get to yours, and then I'm trying to like kind of schedule everything because I have a full-time job and everything. So it was a day before, and I had to go to work. Of course, I went to work. I worked my 9 hours. I got out of work and I was exhausted. And then she's like, "So, are we gonna do my nails?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so tired. Like, I'm in pain. Maybe I should do a quick set, like a gel X method or something, because I do have some full cover tips here, not for my own personal use, because I don't use that. And I don't even do gel X on myself. I do my own nails. But then I started thinking, why should I rush and do something simple just to get done with it? Like, no, my daughter deserves a decent, well done set of nails. And I didn't care how long it took me. It actually didn't take me that long. I was actually very surprised. I thought it was going to take me longer. But we did something simple. We did a nude. We went with coffin shape. And she had a ton of fun. She was every time I did something, like if I put the tips on, she would take a picture and send it to her friends. After I laid down the acrylic, she took a picture and she sent it out to her friends. And then, I gave away most of my gel polishes because, as if you've been following me for a long time, I don't really use gel polishes. I'm actually starting to get into gel polishes now, which it's kind of like, damn, like I already gave 80% of my gel polishes, but now I have to buy some because, I'm starting to do nail art classes with my beautiful bestie, Conjure Up Nails. Her name is Christine. She's also here on YouTube. Absolutely amazing. And I enjoy those classes so much. So she's, getting me excited about nail art, something that it wasn't a thing before. So that's a new thing in my nail journey right now. And I started looking, I was like, oh Jesus, I hope I have the color that matches her dress. And I didn't think about it until that day. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? But it turns out that I did have some beautiful colors, and I went through like some of the colors that will match her dress. And I came across this beautiful color from Born Pretty because I used to work with Born Pretty. It was actually one of the last collections that they had sent me before I decided not to work with like gel polish companies anymore because I wasn't really into gel polish, which is funny now because I regret it now. But anyways, um, so I did her nails, shaped them, painted the nails. We did some cat eye, a reflective color. That's what we used. And then, of course, I wanted to do a 3D flower, but her nails were so freaking tiny. I was like, where am I going to fit a flower in these nails? So it's like, you know what? It's okay. We don't have to do 3D flowers because I like to do big flowers. And then I find her nails to be so tiny. Um, but I was like, my daughter will have freaking bling. Like that was not negotiable. Like she was gonna have bling. So I put a big charm on her ring nail and she loved it. And after I was done, even though I was complaining about my physical, like how I was feeling, like I was tired, I was in pain, I was this and I was that, the joy that I felt just looking at her little face, smiling and giggling because her nails look beautiful. Oh my God, that was the best experience ever. And so I did her nails the day before, and then she had to go to school, and we came up with a plan because, of course, I have to get her ready. They expect the kids to go to school, get out of school at 3 o'clock. Her dance was at 5:30, so I'm like, I'm not gonna have enough time from 3 to 5:30 to get you ready. Like it takes time, and so we came up with a plan. I picked her up from school early. I gave some excuse. I was like, I have an appointment, and I don't have anybody to pick her up later. So I picked her up. We came home. I took that day off, of course, because I knew it was going to take forever. Her hair is so long. It took me 3.5 hours to do her hair. But guess what, bestie? I survived. I burned my fingers like you wouldn't believe. But again, after I did her hair, she got dressed. I put her makeup on, which was, by the way, the first time she wore makeup. She felt so beautiful and just the smile on her face. I was so tired at the end, like so excited. This time, though, the difference between one and the other was that this time I actually had time to shower. And she was so happy. She could not stop smiling. And that just, oh my God, that made my heart feel so big. I was like, this is just so rewarding. I didn't care about how I felt the day before or how tired I felt after I got finished with her or how many times I burned my hands or my fingers while I was doing her hair. Because, yes, I styled her hair myself. I blow dried her hair and then I did some curls and all of that. And, she looked gorgeous. And then, we I took some pictures of her outside, some similar poses of what I did with my oldest daughter. And, off we went to take her to her dance. And then I was able to take something that I wasn't able to do with the big one. It was it was near the ocean, and it was I don't know, it was this place where people rent, to do parties and whatever, but it has um like different buildings in the same like area, like little buildings in the same area. So it was a beautiful background to take pictures of, and I was able to take pictures of her with, the ocean view and all of that. So um I was very excited. Parents, of course, were not allowed, which sucks because I would have loved to see my daughter. Can you believe this girl was selling me out? My own kid. So let me tell you what had happened. So I took some pictures of her, and then her friends started because I was there on time. I was like, because the activity was from 5:30 to 8:30. I was like, I don't want you to be late because then what time are you going to have fun? Like, I want you to have the full experience. I want to be able to take pictures. I want to be able for you to enjoy the night. Oh, she enjoyed it. All right. By the way, my kid is, at this point, she's same height as me and she can wear my shoes now. So she was eyeballing this pair of shoes that I've had for a long time. I only used them like 3 times. And she was like, I want to wear those shoes. And they're heels, like big ones. And I was like, are you sure you can handle that? So she practiced a little bit, but she's always been this girly girl. And I was like, okay, just gotta be careful, make sure you don't fall. Would you believe me if I told you that she broke my shoes? She sent me a text message saying, Mom, the shoes, I broke your shoe. And I was like, okay, that means she's having fun. So I didn't care about the shoes because I'm a new thing with me now is that I'm having pain in my feet. And it's like, I don't even care for those shoes. So it's whatever. And then I was like, okay, do you want me to pick you up? Do you want me to bring you some shoes or something? She's like, no, it's okay. I'm barefoot. I was like, okay, cool. So she's having fun. So let me tell you the part where she was selling me out. So she started dancing. Of course, my kids do not dance in front of me. I've had moments where I put, music and they dance and I make them dance with me. So she has a little bit of experience. Apparently, she was dancing and a lot of people were surprised that she knew how to dance and how she was dancing or whatever. This girl was selling me out, y'all. She was telling everybody I got it from my mama. I was like, what? Oh, you did it. Oh my God, that was so funny to me. I'm like, why are you telling people that? Like, what are you doing? Anyway, so, she went about her night and she was having fun. And I was like, okay, so it came time to go pick her up. And then I went over there and before that happened, sorry, I was taking pictures of her and her friends were arriving. So I took some pictures of her and her friends and those pictures um I I wouldn't share those pictures. And then there was a mom there that had that she got there because she got a ride from a cab, so a taxi. And we got to talking and she asked me if I could drop her off home because we live near the same area. So I was like, sure, of course, I'll drop you off. That's no problem. So we got to talking in the car and whatnot. And then the whole shoot thing happened. And then she told me she was fine. She was barefoot. She was having fun. So it came time to go pick her up. And so I sent her a text message and I was like, okay, so I'm on my way to pick you up, just as that she was aware. And then I got there and we had to sign them out, but we weren't allowed inside. And they had the music going. And I'm like that type of music, like back in the day when my, life was simpler and, dancing was a thing. And the kids were like, because at first she was like, this is boring. Nobody's dancing. Nobody's doing this. So that's when I texted her, you want me to pick you up? And then she was like, never mind. I'm going to go dance. I was like, oh, okay. I guess things started to, change. Yeah, that's usually what happens. Because I still remember, you know, my parties and I remember that they started the same way. Everybody was too shy to dance and then all of a sudden everybody was dancing and then nobody could stop anybody from dancing. So I know, that she got to live that same experience. What was funny to me was that I never sold my mama out and she was telling people like I got it from my mama. Like, what are you doing? So anyways, I got there and I was looking through the crowd because everybody was in the middle of the dance. Uh, in the dance room, whatever, and like it was kind of dark, and so I was trying to look for her, and she spotted me before I saw her. So she was already grabbing her stuff because she knew I was there. But when I tell you that music was going, I listen, bestie. I would be the type of mom that would drop off my kid. And if I listened to some music that it was like from back in the day that I used to dance to, I would start dancing, bro. If I had the opportunity to dance, I would show these kids how to get it done. I would used to do it back in the day. But So she walked towards me and there was this song playing, and I was rocking towards the sound of the music and whatever, and the rhythm, and she was like, "Oh, I was just dancing." And I was like, "But then go. I'm not in a rush. Go finish dancing." She dropped everything on my hands. Mind you, I brought her a pair of shoes so that she could wear because she was barefoot at this point, and she dropped everything. So I had shoes, my phone, her phone, my car keys, and she had brought a purse with her. That was the last thing she dropped. She dropped that on the floor because I wasn't grabbing things fast enough, and she wanted to run to go towards the dance floor to finish the song and dancing, whatever. Oh my god, that was the best part for me. Seeing my kid dance and having fun with all her friends and whatever. And then, the security guard got to talking. Me and him got to talk. And, we started talking about like back in the day when we were younger, like he was younger and I was younger. And I was like, yeah, you remember, this song came out and, we used to dance to it and go down. Oh my God, that was so awesome. It's great to remember those memories, but it's a different feeling knowing that your kids were able to experience that, at least for me it is. And I got to see my baby dancing and I'm like, excuse me, what? Oh my god, that was the most awesome feeling in the world, I swear. Oh my god, that was so freaking amazing. And then she danced a second song after that, and then I signed her out, and the security guard walked us towards the parking lot, and we got in the car, and I was like, "So, did you have fun?" And her smile was from ear to ear. So I was like, "Okay, okay, okay." She had fun. She was dancing, so she got to live her experience, and that's all I wanted. Like, and anything I could ever ask for, that's all I wanted for my kids, to have a wonderful experience and to make it about them. Because, my experience was a little bit different, or I would say a lot different, but I still had a good experience myself when it happened to me. But I wanted to, I don't know, make it extra special or something. I don't know. This is a parent thing, I guess. We want our kids to enjoy life in a better, healthier way than we did. Um, and I'm very grateful that she got to live that, and she was so tired. And then the security guard asked her, "You going to school tomorrow?" And she was like, "I don't know about that." I was like, "What do you mean you don't know about that, girl? If I got to go to work, you got to go to school." Um, And she started laughing. And then we got in the car and she started doing the same thing the big one was doing. She started showing me videos. And I was like, "Mama, I'm driving. Can just wait until we get home." And then she showed me all the pictures and the videos. So she showed me the pictures, and she has a very good eye for pictures. Like, I'm not bragging. Like, this kid, if she wanted to be a photographer for like in the future, I know she could do it because she has this eye for things. She took a beautiful freaking picture of the sunset, because remember, it was in a location, and the ocean was behind this location. She got the most beautiful picture. And then, of course, we got home and I helped her get changed and I removed the makeup, and I made sure that I removed all the makeup. She's always had problems with her eyes. She's actually had several surgeries, procedures done in her eyes. So I was making sure that there was no makeup residue there, so that it doesn't complicate things in the future. So yeah, I mean, the overall experience was amazing, and I just I'm just so proud of my girls. Like, it's it's such a different feeling, and it's a wonderful feeling, when especially when you're able to meet their expectations. Like she wanted her dress this way and she wanted her hair that way, and her makeup and her nails, and I didn't have that when I was growing up. I mean, it's a sad story, but it is what it is. But I wanted to give that to them, and I'm happy that I was able to. And now they have something to talk about. So of course, the second I got home, I was like, okay, so I have the big ones, proms, pictures, and then the little ones. So I went to Walmart's app, and I can print my pictures there, and um they ship them to you. So um that's what I did. So I got a big picture, like an 8 by 10 picture of the big one and an 8 by 10 of the little one, because honestly, the last picture I have of them that they took together was when they were back in the same school, and this was back when the big one was in middle school. And I'm actually staring at the picture right now because it's literally right across from me. And they were so little, and they're so big. Like I literally have no more babies, even though in my eyes they will forever be my babies. So yeah. I can't wait to get those pictures and put them on my walls and everything. So that was an amazing experience. So I know a lot of people, a lot of the girls here on YouTube are also going through graduation. Um, which is, it's funny because, we have so many things in common. And now, this one, her kid is graduating, and then her kid is graduating, and then the other one's kid is. So it's amazing to get to see all these beautiful pictures of our beautiful babies, and they're graduating and they're going to prom and they're going to their dance and whatever. I think it's just, life is really good right now, you know. And aside from all the things that we go through in life, I think we need to appreciate those little moments. And to me, they are so important because, like I said, I had such a different experience, and I'm very proud to say that I was able to, give them that, and in a much better level. Of course, I didn't have to take them to get their nails done. I didn't have my nails done when I had my dance. Um, my mom did my hair, which is something that I took from her. I was, I know how to fix hair, right? I know how to work with hair. So I blow dry her hair. I styled her hair a certain way. And so, yeah, I mean, I did her makeup, which I know nothing about. That I have to say 100%. I know nothing about makeup. So I don't know how I did that, but I did something simple. Um, but they look so grown once they were wearing makeup. They look different. And both my kids are the same way. Like they don't really wear makeup on a normal basis. Even the girly girl, she doesn't really wear makeup. And they felt beautiful. They felt confident. They felt, they they just felt important. They felt beautiful. They felt confident. And that's all I wanted, honestly. And to be able to achieve that, it was a major goal for me. I didn't care at that point how tired I was or how in pain. I did not care. Like, to me, it was just about them. And I'm very proud to say that. But anyways, so that's how that happened. So now, um their graduation from the time of this voiceover is going to be um in about 10 days. Um and like I said, they're both graduating this year, so I was praying to God. I was like, please do not let it be in the same day, because I don't know what I'm going to do. So, I'm grateful that, you know, but it's one day. Like, I can't remember at this point. I'm trying to remember, but I know one graduates on a Monday and then the other one graduates on Tuesday. So I'm glad that it's on different days, but it's one day after the other. So now I'm preparing my tier for that day when that day comes. I'll let you know more about it probably in the next video. So this is the finished look. I hope you were able to enjoy the story time, the nails. I didn't put any bling because I did not want to take away from the nail art within the set. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I was able to get some sort of close to what she did because her set was gorgeous. It's amazing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you like the content, share it if you find it helpful, and leave your comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the set and the story. And thank you so much for all your love and support. I'm really am very, very grateful. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.